my Malkin's moments. Have a lot of great Malkin's moments. So first, LeBron James passed Karl Malone, the mailman, for second on the NBA's all-time leading scoring list. It was incredible. It came against the Washington Wizards over the weekend. He had 38 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists in the loss to the Washington Wizards on the road. He's got right now 36,947 points. The only guy that he trails right now is former Lakers great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the NBA's all-time scoring list. He's got 38,387. So there's about a 1,400 point swing if I do my mental math quickly. So here's the impressive thing about LeBron. And he obviously came out, he's talked about this on the barbershop, he's talked about this on various other platforms, how he always feels like he is snubbed when it comes to the best scorers of all time in NBA history. And I think part of it is just we pay him a bigger compliment as being a much more well-rounded player who is exceptional at 3 phases or 4 phases, multiple phases of a basketball game, as opposed to when you look at guys like Michael Jordan or Kobe or Durant, some of these guys who that seem to be the main thing they specialized in. Now, both of those guys could defend as well, but when you think about LeBron, the first thing you don't think about necessarily is the scoring. You think he is an elite scorer who is a one-of-a-kind generational passer and all-around player. And in the eyes of many, he's the greatest of all time, or the second greatest of all time, top 3. So regardless of how you feel about LeBron, I do think it's impressive that he continues to reach these milestones. Again, even given the fact that we don't view him in that certain light or place him in that category. And it's impressive, the fact that he just keeps climbing. It's a testament to his endurance, his reliability, his consistency, his availability. And it's a credit to his longevity that he's been able to exhibit for years and years and years. This is 19th season. And at this pace, I wouldn't be surprised if he could surpass that mark, if not next year, maybe in 2 years if he's still playing at that time. So major shout out to LeBron for that. Major shout out to Iga Swiatek. I just talked about her. She beat Maria Sakkari to claim her first women's Indian Wells title. Here's the interesting thing. So on Monday, she's moving to a new career high ranking number 2 in the world. And she matches Agnieszka Radwanska's record as the highest ranked Polish tennis player ever in the history of the sport, in the history of Poland. It was her 5th, as I mentioned, title on the tour, 3rd at the 1,000 level, 2nd in the year 2020. And she's the youngest player to win those, to win a bunch of those types of trophies since Caroline Wozniacki did it in 2009, as I mentioned. Transitioning to basketball, especially college basketball, we're seeing all these kinds of upsets happening. And speaking of upsets, in the women's basketball tournament, the 10th seed South Dakota advanced to their first ever NCAA Sweet 16, knocking off the 2 seed Baylor yesterday, 61-47. This seems to be the year that we're seeing, especially on the women's side, the tournament just being so unpredictable. We saw Iowa go down. We've seen a lot of teams get upset. And it's great for programs like South Dakota on the women's side. It's great for the sport. That's what March Madness is all about. And I was happy to see that program do that. And speaking of upsets on the men's draw, the 15th seed St. Peter's Peacocks, they became the 3rd ever 15 seed to advance to the Sweet 16. They stunned Murray State, the 7 seed, 70-60 in the round of 32. They had upset Kentucky, the number 2 seed, in overtime in the first round to even get to that position. And they join elite company with Florida Gulf Coast in 2013 that achieved that feat. They obviously upset the 2 seed Georgetown at the time. Then they ultimately beat San Diego State in the second round. Then you look just last year in the tournament, Oral Roberts in 2021. They upset Ohio State, the number 2 seed at the time. Then they beat Florida in the following round, and that allowed them to reach the Sweet 16. So St. Peter's and the Peacocks, they got a tough matchup against Purdue coming up, but should be a great Sweet 16 next Thursday is when it begins. That's all the time that I got for today. I'm ending a couple minutes early today. Thank you so much for joining me right here on Morning Joe every single Monday and Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 to 11 Central, and 8 to 9 a.m. Pacific. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube page, Morning Joe with Jonah Malkin, on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Jonah Malkin, or at morning_Joe_JMalk97 on Instagram, and Jonah Malkin on TikTok. That'll do it for us. Thank you so much, and have a lovely rest of your morning.